For over 10 years ago, I had a dream to become a professional gamer. That's a dream I've been chasing for a long time, and it's something I was aiming for to become. The scene back then wasn't really big, but it was something pretty cool for me and something that interests me a lot. And that's a step I would never regret in my whole life, and it's something I'm proud of to be. My name is Alesund. I've been playing professional CounterStrike for over 10 years, and this is my Masters Talk. When I prepared myself for my first real big game, and I remember it was a DreamHack tournament, we were playing a qualifier for SWC, and something that made me to become the player I am today, you know. Before the game, I was just standing there outside at the play area where you're supposed to play the game, and I was just standing there and taking in and seeing this is a big thing for me. I fought so long to come here, and there's nothing stopping me. I remember I told myself, there's nothing that's gonna stop me to win this game.
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues.
We weren't the favorites to win. We weren't even supposed to be close, I think. But somehow we managed to win the game, and I remember I played really good. I was the best player on this server. I was the best player in my team and against them and so on, you know. Because of that, I had this thought before the game. I remember I just told myself, I waited so long for this moment to actually happen. Nothing's gonna stop me to me winning this game and actually qualify for this big tournament.
Recognition, I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues. I'm in position. I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great.
How can I become recognized, or more, how can I become much better than I am right now? And that's a question, if you ask me personally, it's kind of tricky to answer. But it's also kind of easy to answer. There's a former professional gamer that was called Fatality, who was the best player ever to play Quake, Painkiller, etc. There's a really famous saying that someone was asking him when a documentary team was following him, and he was saying what do you do? And he said basically, practice. Practice, practice, practice. For me, when I heard that saying, what he said was basically give everything to all the practice you're doing. Every day when I wake up, I always have a stream on. Even though I've been playing for so many years, there's always small tricks you can use. A lot of professional players nowadays are already playing so much, they actually forget to update their game. And if I can take something that I learned from a streamer or someone that's less known, I can probably use that in a professional game, and I can, get that player off guard, with something they haven't seen before, because they don't really invest time into that. Everyone has their own technique and own routine to do practice. But for me, it's always been looking a lot of demos, read the other opponent's pattern. And that's something that I will always look into, and I've always done that since I was very young. And that's something I will probably do till I stop playing professionally. Every player has a pattern they use. It doesn't really matter who it is. It's easy to see it and it's easy to learn it, but it takes time to change it. Because if you're used to doing something, it's kind of hard for a person to change it completely. CS is more than just having the best stats on the server. It's more about being a good teammate, knowing how to set up them for the best positioning, and also set yourself up to the best position to make yourself and your team to win rounds and even games. So I think it's just the ego, or the big ego you probably have, or the player is having, that maybe can stop them to become even better than they are. Because there's so many talented players out there. There's so many that actually surprise me how good they are when you look at it. Everyone has their own different problems. Even I still have problems in other aspects that, even though I've been professional for over 10 years, there's something I still struggle with every day that I play with. CS is gonna be a game that will always get you something new, always will get you to learn something new, no matter what. Everyone's practice room and area, what they have at their home, is so way different, but I can just take my own experience of how my room basically looked like. It's not really anything special, but it's a special place for me, and it feels like every time I open up the door, I'm just entering my own bubble, and you'll just know that I will focus heavily on the game. You have to also remember you have to have a good chair, you have to have a good computer monitor, you have to have the best gear on the market. And lucky for me and my team, we're so fortunate to have Asus like a sponsor who's providing us with the best equipment on the market. I believe that's that's the way to go, because you have to have the best things for yourself to become better than you are.
You like me, I don't mind. I don't mind.
I think it's very important, especially during tournaments, to just kind of disappear in a way. And disappearing for me can mean that I take a walk. There's always a good idea and a good tip, if you ask me, just shut down yourself for a minute and not really think about the game and just walk around. And for me, it's like something that calms me down. And I love to just listen to music, see the town or the city or the stadium or the area that I am into or I am in. I believe the right way to become better is to get 4 other people that have the same goal as you. And you have to set it kind of early so you know what you're aiming towards. For me personally, I would always say like you should always aim to become better with playing online qualifiers to other tournaments. You will always become better if you try your best in every qualifier, no matter how hard it is for you. But at least you're trying your best and actually trying to become better, because if you're playing against players that are better than you will eventually become better or equal the same as them. And I would always advise you to play and challenge yourself every day when you go into a server. We always have 1 hour of tactics. We always have something that we work on and actually have a goal with. Every time we start a day off, we always ask ourselves, what do we really need to work on? Is it a problem on overpass, for example, that we are kind of bad on the B side? What do we do with it? How do we work it to become even better? So I would always advise every team that's out there that don't really have a coach or anything like that, but to actually work with each other and actually see what's your strength and what's your weakness, to actually put it together to actually become the better strength instead of the worst. I also tell everyone to be brutal honest, because that strengthens your team and it strengthens yourself as well, because if you know that someone is saying you did this wrong and I think about this and I understand this problem like this, maybe you have another idea and then you can explain it to them why you're doing it, and then you can work around it to become even better. Every time I go into a flight, because we fly so much, I just know I'm sitting there in a flight for a couple of minutes. It could be anywhere in the world. Just to remind myself that I'm going here to prove myself again, prove myself that I'm good enough, prove myself to be one of the better players here. And that's something that I've been fighting for so long, and it's something I fight for every time. And I'm not gonna just feel that I already made it, because I have to always fight for it. There's always someone going for your spot. There's always someone that wants to be better than you. There's always someone fighting to be better than you in anything. You're here for a reason, and you're here to have fun. You're here to make yourself proud. And that's something what I aim for every time when I go into a flight before a big tournament. I'm a fighter, like no matter what. I had my health issues. I have my problems in real life. I had all things against me. I've been kicked out of a lot of teams. I have so many bad experiences from my career, before, after, even now, etc. But I always know inside of myself that I'm a fighter and I will never give up.